Today, commission painting, secrets revealed. Yo dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up on the literal best of all days, coming to you from the Beats Lab in Hollywood, California. We're doing it again. Today, Volume 2, Alpha Legion Contemptor Dreadnought, we are creating a series of concise tutorials going over that Alpha Legion style. Now as I work on these videos, I'm realizing it's sort of a commission painting 101 sort of guide. Last week's video, we covered easy transitions and blocking in details. That's actually day one, Next Level Painting paint system. That's basically what our entire channel and education system is based on, is what I learned as a pro painter for years, as a commission painter for years, since 2010. We distilled it down to a formula that works, that gets quality out the door. Let me summarize it. Airbrushing, clean and fantastic transitions. Block in all the details. That's basically what you do on Monday with all your Space Marines. On Tuesday, edge highlighting and clean washing. That's it. That's basically how you get these models out the door in volume and mass, looking tight, looking good. Now, of course, if you have the right tool for the job, it's even easier as a commission painter. Secret Web Miniatures, Elrik's Hobbies, Gamer's Grass, just to name a few. Yo, look, I'm excited to announce a new sponsor into the fold. We're working with Element Games out of the UK. We got some fresh promotions all summer long with these guys. First up on deck, movement trays. That's all I'm gonna say. Give me a quick second to shout out a couple legendary individuals over on Patreon. We got Patriots, Bob, Keith, John, Joshua, Carl, Toby, Steve, John X, and Jared. Love you guys, bottom of my heart. Patreon's how I keep the lights on. Let's do this thing, guys. Alpha Legion Contemptor Dreadnought Volume 2. That Next Level Painting system is coming together today. We're gonna do the edge highlighting technique, little necrotite green, which is what we use predominantly for a lot of these highlights. So it's gonna match, it's gonna blend in, it's gonna be subtle, but also provide us that contrast. All we're gonna do here is trace the edges. Makes it real easy. We're not really even painting, just finding our flat angles, dragging our paintbrush across them, creating a nice, clean, and crisp line to box in all these transitions that we did with the airbrush. That's how you get that technique. We're gonna be methodical, hit them all. You know, maybe all of us an exaggeration. We're gonna hit most of the lines, most of the angles. We love it when it reaches into the dark areas. I call that dark edge highlighting. It gives it a nice reflective quality, like right up in the cut right here. We pull the arms off so we can get in all the angles. Make sure he looks his absolute best. Get these knees, get these shins, his hips. He's got so many easy to reach angles. Very simple paint job on a very simple model. Contemptor Dreadnoughts are easy. I can paint these in my sleep. But part of the Alpha Legion style is definitely hitting those edges. We're not using any metallic paints at all. So we're trying to create a bit of a reflective quality here. So hitting those sharp edges and then maybe even sneaking yellow in. We'll see. Right now I like what we're looking at here. He's looking real crisp, real solid, very reflective. His giant chaos buzzsaw hands are looking fresh. Okay, step 2, Next Level Painting system. This is a system I use for commissioning for years. Now we're going to use some wash technique. Basically, clean transitions with the airbrush, blocking the details. Clean washes, highlight, done. So right now we're gonna use that dark tone style from the Army Painter, and we're gonna wash all this silver. We're just gonna be, thorough. Dabbing technique. We're gonna just dab it in, whip it away. If it looks like it's building up, we don't want there to be any staining. We just want there to be some nice contrast, some nice tones. Easy weathered effect to all this silver. It's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, like I said, this is the 1-2 punch. Used it for years as a commission artist. Got tons of armies out, tons of projects, hundreds of models. Same thing right here in the buzzsaw. If you remember from last week, we left these saws kind of splotchy because I didn't care because I knew I was going to do a heavy wash technique and some dry brush technique. Same deal. Make sure you get it all up in there. You want to force that wash into all the crevices. You want it to create that contrast. And since we have a little bit of this wash handy, we're going to take a small little brush and just kind of pin wash it, force that black wash into some of these lines just to add even more contrast. You know, he's got some lines in his heels, his calves, his arms. Super easy, guys. Just grab your skinniest brush. Boom, right there in the front. Too easy. Pops out. A little bit of pin wash technique. Same deal. We're gonna thin it down just a little bit. Put it on that scroll work on his chest. We painted that thing galvanized steel, and now it has a dark tone wash. Real easy to highlight that up. No big deal. Man, I've painted so many Contemptors. They're so fun, so easy, and you can get such a phenomenal effect for such low amount of hours, really. So we're gonna dig back into that scale 75 heavy metal. We're gonna pull some out. We're gonna get our good old GW dry brush, and we're just gonna dry brush some of this on. Try to create some more contrast, a little bit more weathering, a little bit more antiquing. It's gonna make some of these metals look their best before we go into the final stage of weathering them, chaos style. We did use a bunch of fun orky bits for those siege drills or drill fists. I don't fucking know what they're called. Not a fist scientist. And we're just highlighting all the metal up. Let that do its thing. Let's jump on this scroll. We just grab some white. No big deal. Just thin down any white. Cut in some edges. Just same exact thing we did before on the armor. This is a little trickier. You have to be a little bit tighter because they don't have the edges are not nearly as predominant, so it's a little bit more difficult to trace. So what you're noticing I'm doing here is bracing with my pinky on the model and dragging straight lines to me, feathering them in, keeping the paint a little thin but not too thin. It's a little bit different. Like, I don't want it to be super thick, but we're definitely not glazing. So here we go. Just trace these edges, make this scroll work jump out at us. Let the wash that we throw in there create some nice shadows. Here's the final highlights. Marvelous. Very easy. Low impact. You might notice that we're leaving the helmet kind of alone for this video because I feel like the final evolution of this model might be some dragon scales on his helmet. I haven't decided yet. So there it is, Engine Grime, one of my favorite colors from Secret Whip Miniatures. We're going to thin this down, grab our Slow Fuse Gaming Bomb Wick, and we're going to just kind of glaze it in rapid fire. We're just going to add it all up in the metals business. I love this combination with silver. I think it looks so fun, so natural, so dirty. We're just going to feather it in, add water, draw it out, create some fun contrast and splatter designs. We're going to use every tool in the toolbox today. Okay, so we're gonna hit every single little panel with a little bit of engine grime, rapid fire, make them look their best. We're still trying to stay a little bit on the clean side because it's Alpha Legion, even though it's chaos. So the only real gangster weathering we're gonna do is on those huge rip saws, right? So here's a new one, Baesing Ink P3 Privateer Press. We're gonna use this for the first time. We're gonna try to play around with it as maybe a rust alternative. Within 3 minutes, I realized it's not a good rust alternative. It dries a little bit too yellow to be called rust, but we're still going to use it. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna vibe it, love it. I love how easy it is to apply. It definitely has application to be sick for any kind of yellow model. So now we're gonna grab a little sepia tone from Secret Whip Miniatures, and we're just gonna darken up some of that new Baesing ink, and it's gonna turn it right into a rust color. That's simple. Booyah. Save the day. And then we're gonna grab any black, maybe soft body black, anything you want. We're gonna splatter it up. We're gonna intensify everything we just did. Simple, simple. Boom. Splatter, splatter. Feather it. Stipple it. Boom. Get some nice grime effect right there. You can go as crazy as you want, man. Like I said, these are our chaos claws. Loving what we're looking at here. He's a beast, but we gotta do something for his soul burners. Obviously, inside these hands, I did a bunch of putty just so it'd be kind of fleshy, maybe a little bit more organic, because those are where his little soul burners are. So we're just gonna throw a bunch of this Baesing ink in there, let it dry. Call this stage 2 next level painting system. We still can take it further, but this is literally what I would sell to people. That would be my commission style right there. 1-2 punch next level painting. All day, every day, guys. Anyway, play on, players. Catch us on Twitch.